All right, back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing a beer from the MadTree Brewing Company, and they're out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and this is their Galaxy High. So this is an Imperial IPA that comes in at 9.5% alcohol by volume, 120 IBUs at the time of review. This can is approximately 2 months old, and I want to give a huge thanks and shout out to a good friend of mine and fellow beer tuber, Rod over at Rod J BeerVentures, for hooking me up with this one. I'll post a link in the description box to not only Rod's channel, but the beer mail unboxing video I did of all the goodies he sent my way. So thank you very much, Rod. I'm really excited about this one because Rod loves this beer. It's one of his favorite double IPAs, Imperial IPAs. He absolutely goes bonkers about this one. And I know our buddy Todd as well really enjoys this one. So this is an Imperial IPA that is brewed with Galaxy and Topaz hops. Even though they call it Galaxy High, they do use Topaz as well. So yeah, big beer. Hopefully it's as delicious as Rod says it is, because I'm quite pumped. I haven't had too many MadTree beers, but this one has always intrigued me. So we'll throw it over there like so. Yeah, so this pours out. I don't think this is technically like an Imperial New England style IPA, but it definitely has a nice haze to it. Really deep, darker orange color. Almost looks like a melted down orange creamsicle, honestly. About a finger of a bright white, really fluffy, creamy looking head. That looks beautiful. Looks like a really beautiful beer, not gonna lie. So right around 2 months old, I am getting a little bit more malt character than I was hoping in the nose. Definitely has a caramel, bready kind of malt aroma to it. But then I'm getting, I'm getting some orange. I'm getting a little bit of crushed pineapple from the Galaxy, getting a little bit of passion fruit. A really nice underlying herbaceous dankness to it. Yeah, that dankness is actually building up each sniff I go back for. Yeah, it smells pretty good. I will be honest with you, because I always need to be honest. This is just, I think I said approximately 2 months old. I think this is just over 2 months old. Definitely the age is starting to kind of be a factor here, because I am getting a bigger malty sweetness than I anticipated, and the Galaxy isn't popping as much as I would like, but you know what? We're going to give it a try. So cheers, everyone, and thanks again, Rod. Want to see what this one has to offer. Yeah, still malt forward, but not as malt forward as I was anticipating from the nose. First off, 9.5%. I couldn't tell you this is a hair over like 7.5. Definitely hides the alcohol relatively well. A little bit of warming in the chest, but on the palate, not really. First thing that hits me up front, bunch of pithy orange and juicy orange, just like kind of the orange just mashed up. A little bit of that crushed pineapple, a little bit of passion fruit. As it passes through the palate, you get a decent amount of that malt sweetness. It's actually kind of taking on like a marmalade kind of, it's marmalade-esque, like orange marmalade, pineapple marmalade. Does pineapple marmalade exist? If so, it's kind of what it's getting, what kind I'm getting from the taste profile on this one. Then it dries out substantially on the back of the palate, pretty dry finish, decently bitter. So it kind of balances off all the juicy, sweeter components of the front end. Body is higher side of medium body at 9.5%. Might be a touch thin, but whatever. I've talked about this before, but when it comes to big IPAs, I want them to drink a little bit lower. I want that, especially when it comes to body. I don't want a thick, syrupy double IPA. I want something that's medium, higher side of medium body, and that's kind of in the realm this one is in. The palate, even though it looks like a New England style IPA, it drinks like a regular like West Coast or an older East Coast IPA. It has a nice crispness to it. There's an effervescent, like, spritzy carbonation to it. But there's a bit of softness. What the hell's going on outside? It's like 40 degrees out and like people are cutting their grass. Just settle down. Settle down. Yeah, this one's really good. I enjoy it. This has more of like an old school West Coast, East Coast style IPA, like hybrid. Doesn't really have like the New England style to it. I'm pretty sure that's not what they're going for. They're going for, probably a classic West Coast, or just like I said, just a generic Imperial IPA. And they kind of hit the nail on the head. I can see why Rod likes this one. I do wish this was a bit fresher. I feel like at like a 3 or 4 week mark of this, I think I would get more of that Galaxy and just more of like the crushed pineapple. In the taste, that herbaceous dankness is kind of there underneath everything, but a bit lost. I think there's a little bit more malt character in this one. Don't get me wrong, 2 months is not extremely old or anything, but I do think that the malt profile in this one is a little bit more impactful and a little bit more bombastic, shout out to Paul over at PA Breweries, then I would anticipate that they probably want this beer to be. So rating wise, again, I'm always honest in my reviews. Rating wise, I am digging this one. This is drinking like an older classic Imperial IPA. I love the fact that they're hiding the alcohol. I really like the fact that I do get that marmalade character in here because I like that. I know some people don't, but I do. And I think it's a well-made, tasty beer, but it's not blowing my socks off. I would like to try the Citra version of this one to see if I perhaps like that one more. I do like Citra maybe as much as Galaxy, so I don't know. I'd be curious to try that one out. But as far as rating goes for the Galaxy High from MadTree, I'm going to give it a solid 4 out of 5. Really dig this beer, but I do think the age has played a little bit of a factor. Probably not a ton. It's just probably something that, for my palate, it's a bit different than Rod's and Todd's, where they enjoy this one a little bit more than I do. And that's the great thing about craft beer. We all have different palates. We all have different likes and dislikes and whatnot. It's how it works. Everything's subjective. So I really appreciate Rod sending this one to me, and I get a chance to try it. I do enjoy this one. 4 out of 5 is a solid score. I just don't enjoy it probably as much as Rod and Todd does. That happens. And that's how it goes. I know Rod and Todd, some of the other half beers I've sent to them, they don't like as much as me. Just how the world goes, and that's how it's always going to be. So once again, appreciate Rod sending me this beer. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review. Until the next one, cheers.